Hey, I know you're tired. I know you've been waiting for a sign that actually means something. So let me say this slowly, soul to soul. God whispered your name today. And Archangel Michael, he's been asking heaven for just 1 minute of your time, because the moment you've been silently praying for is coming tonight at 900 p.m. But here's the surprise that will move you deeply. You're standing at the door of a life-changing and 55 million miracle. And if you leave this message too fast, you won't even know you missed it. Yes, God said today is the transfer, but heaven is looking if you'll open your hands or walk away. Beloved soul, this isn't just any message. You were led to see this for a reason. God made sure your spirit stopped at this exact moment. Because while the world is moving without knowing, a divine wire has been sent in the spiritual realm. One that carries the vibration of abundance, justice, and restoration. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to like this video. Liking the video will activate the flow of God's favor in your life. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, because subscribing will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life. Michael has seen the pain you've been hiding behind your smile. He knows how long you've held that dream with no one else believing in it but you. But listen carefully now. This isn't just a message. This is a moment. Glowing star, before we go on, let me softly say this with love. If your heart feels even a tiny spark, if your soul says, wait, this feels different, then pause for a moment and make sure you subscribe right now so you never miss another message meant for only you. Because Michael is choosing who to tell next, and you're on the list. Don't skip it. That one click could hold the next miracle in your inbox. Glowing star, now breathe, because I need to tell you something raw and holy. God has released a money miracle. Not just a small flow, not some maybe one-day blessing, but 55 million worth of divine justice that was stolen from you, whether through generational blocks, past life oaths, or earthly betrayals. And heaven finally said, at 900 p.m. tonight, Archangel Michael says your name will be spoken in the spirit realm. It's a spiritual transfer. It's not coming from a bank. It's not coming from a human. It's coming from the hand of God himself. And guess what? The moment your name is called, if your heart isn't in agreement, it passes you by. And someone else takes it. That's why Michael is pleading, don't ignore this. Don't walk away. Don't scroll, because this time it's you. You've been skipped over long enough. You've watched others walk into blessings you only dreamed of. You've smiled at their wins while secretly wondering, when is it going to be my turn? Tonight, heaven says, it's your turn, but only if you respond. And no, this isn't about luck. This is about prophecy. It's been written for years, buried under the noise of your heartbreak and betrayal. But the angel assigned to release it just arrived. Michael says there were forces trying to delay this, to stop this transaction from reaching your soul. But they failed, because you didn't give up, and because your spirit was brave enough to wait for this message. So now I'm going to ask you, can you feel it? That energy rising in your chest, that sudden warmth. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. If you shut this window now, the miracle rewinds. The scroll closes and the next person is chosen. But if you choose to stay, to believe for just 1 minute more, then a divine gate is opening in your name. The number is real, and 55 million. But it's not just about the money. It's about the symbol of restoration. It's about the recognition of what was stolen from your bloodline. Tonight, you'll receive the first sign. It may come through a dream, a notification, a random email, or a stranger's words. But make no mistake, you're being watched. Heaven is checking if you lacked or delayed. Michael says, if you open this message with faith, you trigger a divine unlocking. But if you treat this like just another message, you cancel the angel's mission with your own disbelief. God said, I'm not forcing it. I'm offering it. That's why this message didn't shout. It came gently, just like heaven always does when it's testing obedience. Now breathe again. Because something is happening around you right now. Your energy is shifting, the gates are swinging open, and your name is echoing through a realm you can't yet see, but your spirit can feel. Stay with me. Don't skip. You're almost at the moment where your breakthrough becomes physical. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Now, as you step into this holy moment, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Hyman in the comments below as a sign of your acceptance, as a bold statement that you are ready to receive what heaven has prepared. As you write it, see yourself not as someone who missed out, but as an heir rising to claim what grace has already written in your name. And stay with me until the very end, because we'll be closing with a powerful prayer that will activate this release. Before you move on, I want to encourage you to share this prophetic word with your network. Sharing this prophetic word will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with your network. All right, close the door behind you. Because what I'm about to say now, only your spirit will understand. It's the kind of truth that bypasses logic and goes straight into your bones. Tonight isn't just a night. It's the return of everything they said you'd never have. And God is tired of watching you suffer in silence. Archangel Michael says, there was a spiritual meeting in heaven regarding you just 3 days ago. Yes, about you. Not your neighbor, not your cousin, not someone more qualified. You. Because there is an unclaimed blessing that's been held in escrow for years. It wasn't denied, it was delayed. Because there were people around you who would have destroyed you the moment you touched it. So God had to hide it until your spirit matured, until your heart stopped begging for crumbs from the wrong hands. And now you're finally ready. You've crossed the line. You've walked through fire. You didn't give up. And now heaven is not only celebrating, it's activating. Let me make this clear. The 55 million is not just money, it's spiritual compensation. For every time you were laughed at, for every time you were left out, for every time someone made you feel like your dreams were too big. God saw it. He heard what they said behind your back. He watched you cry into your pillow while still waking up every day to try again. And now God is saying, tell my chosen one, if they just hold on till 900 p.m., if they stay in alignment, if they open their heart fully, I will pour out a blessing that will break generational chains. You think it's a coincidence that you're reading this right now? No, you've been divinely interrupted, because heaven is testing your response. If you ignore this, the miracle will pause. If you receive this, your life will split into before and after this night. This is a wealth gate, and it has your name carved in gold. Michael says they tried to block it. Demons were assigned to distract you, to make you question your worth, to keep you stuck in guilt, shame, and fear. But even the darkness is trembling now, because you made it this far. And if you think money doesn't matter to heaven, remember this. It's not about greed, it's about purpose. It's about what you will do with it. You were chosen to receive large wealth, because your hands won't waste it. God said this soul will use it to build, to heal, to free others, to restore families, to shift nations. But you have to pass this moment. You have to choose to believe that this message didn't show up by accident. You have to say yes before the clock hits 900 p.m. Because after 900 p.m., the angel assigned to your breakthrough will leave, and the door closes again. You have no idea how long this angel's been fighting to get this through. You almost missed it yesterday. You almost skipped it last week. But something in your soul said stay a little longer. Read a little deeper. That wasn't you. That was the Holy Spirit nudging you. Because God is serious about this one. This isn't a test run, this is the moment. And yes, there are people who will scoff at this. There are people who won't understand your fire, but that's okay. They weren't called, you were. You are the one that heaven has been whispering about. The one the enemy has tried to destroy since birth, because the wealth on your name isn't normal, it's supernatural. It's the kind of wealth that heals bloodlines, and that's why you've faced so many battles, because hell knew that if you ever accessed it, everything would change. And now it's trembling, because you're closer than ever. But here's the part no one else will tell you. This blessing requires your permission. God will never force it. He needs a full yes. Not a maybe, not a half-open heart, but a yes so loud the angels can move into position. Can you do that? Can you trust what your spirit is saying even if your mind is scared? Let me tell you what I see in the spirit. I see vaults opening. I see your name glowing on scrolls. I see your photo laid on an altar with flames around it. I see Michael's sword drawn, ready to cut down every demon that stood in your way. I see 55 wrapped in golden light waiting to find its final home. And I see one word stamped across the envelope, approved. But God won't release it without your agreement, because He's a God of honor. He will never invade a heart that doesn't invite Him. So you're being asked now, will you believe? Will you receive? Will you declare, this is my miracle? This is my moment, I receive it fully, and I say yes. Because if you do, something will shift within the next 6 hours. Your name will be spoken in the mouths of people you've never met. Doors that were closed will swing open without explanation. And you'll know that you just passed the most sacred test of your life. This is the kind of night you'll tell your future children about. The kind of moment where God rewrites the story. The kind of blessing that makes you cry in the shower and whisper, I knew you didn't forget me. And He didn't. Not for 1 second. We've reached the moment where this shifts from information to activation. What I'm about to ask you to do might seem simple, but it carries heavenly weight. In the comments below, I want you to write exactly these words. I receive my divine compensation. Not, I hope I receive it. Not, maybe this will work. God's timing responds to clarity, to certainty, to declarations made from your whole being. When you write those words, you're doing something far more powerful than leaving a comment. You're making a covenant with heaven. You're stating your intention to the Almighty. You're announcing that you're available for this transformation. Type "Amen" as your seal of agreement. And if you feel the fire of faith rising, type "I am ready" in the comments to confirm your alignment. All right, take a deep breath and hold it just for a moment. Because what comes next is not just divine, it's holy, it's rare, and it's about you. Listen closely. There's a sacred silence in heaven that only happens when a major shift is about to occur. Right now, as your eyes touch these words, angels have stopped singing. Why? Because you're about to be chosen publicly for what God has been preparing for you privately. There's an ancient scroll wrapped in fire and sealed with gold that has been untouched for generations. Not because it wasn't ready, but because the person it was meant for hadn't arrived in full readiness. That scroll carries your name. It carries the blueprints to a destiny so big even you haven't dared to dream it fully. Archangel Michael is holding that scroll right now. He stood before the throne and said, Father, is it time yet? And heaven, after centuries of silence, finally said yes. The scroll is your inheritance. It's not just the 55 million in money. It's the value of your purpose. It's the wealth tied to your vision. It's the abundance tied to your voice, your gifts, your obedience. You see, while others were chasing popularity, you were in the quiet places trying to survive. While others posted highlight reels, you were weeping between prayers no one heard. While others built empires from ego, you were learning the language of faith, one silent battle at a time. And now heaven says that was never wasted, not one tear, not one sacrifice, not one midnight surrender. You've passed tests in silence that would have broken kings. You've loved people who left you bleeding. You've walked away from things your flesh wanted because your spirit knew better. And that, beloved soul, is why the blessing is yours. Because heaven doesn't reward perfection. It rewards purity, it rewards resilience. It rewards the soul who kept walking when everything said, quit. Tonight your name will rise in the spirit realm, and it's not rising alone. It's rising with favor, with justice, with a divine alarm that says, the hour of divine payback has come. Michael is standing by a spiritual gate. It's guarded. Not everyone can access it. But your name, it has the access code burned into it. You've been tested, refined, processed. And tonight is your moment of release. But here's the sacred warning. If your heart is not present, if your spirit isn't open, the gate closes at 9:00 p.m. sharp. No second chances. Not this time, because this isn't just another window. This is the final gate of this cycle. There's been a pattern in your life. Every time something good comes close, something suddenly crashes it. Every time a door opens, someone sabotages it. Every time your hopes rise, betrayal walks in. Michael says that was never coincidence. That was a spiritual strategy to keep you tired, discouraged, and doubting your own light. Because hell knew if you ever aligned fully, if you ever stood up and said, I will not miss what God has for me again, then the chains would shatter. The contracts would cancel, and the wealth would release. Tonight is the night you cancel the pattern. Tonight is the night you say no more delays, no more sabotage, no more false starts. Tonight is the night you say, I receive it all, and I won't lie to you. This blessing will cost you something. It will cost you your old mindset. It will cost you your fear. It will cost you the comfort of small dreams. Because 55 isn't for the timid, it's for the bold. It's for the ones who know they were sent here for more. This wealth isn't random, it's assigned. Assigned to the soul who will use it for good, for healing, for legacy, for light. You are that soul, and heaven is watching your response. Every second you remain in belief, you're expanding the size of what's coming. Every doubt you remove is like another wall collapsing. I trust you, God. Another angel moves closer. Right now there's a sound in the spirit, a trembling, because chains are falling off your name, debts are dissolving. Enemies and destiny is coming forward, unashamed, undeniable. God says, I will not let another take what belongs to my chosen one. Not this time, not anymore. Michael is nodding. He's standing at the edge of your future, holding a flaming sword in one hand and the scroll in the other, and he's begging you. Please, don't let fear stop you. Don't let disbelief close your hands. You were born for this. You feel it, don't you? That tingling in your hands, that pressure in your chest. That's the presence of the angel. That's the energy of the miracle forming. Don't rush. Sit in it, because everything you've ever asked God for is now asking for you. Yes, let's continue. And this time, let's go even deeper, into the part of your story that no one else has ever fully understood. Because what's coming to you tonight isn't just money, it's redemption. It's God saying, I remember when they laughed. I remember how they doubted your vision. I remember how they told you, be realistic. But I didn't give you a realistic dream. I gave you a prophetic one. Heaven is rewarding the you that kept going when nobody clapped. The you that poured out love while secretly hoping someone would just notice your heart. The you that gave and gave and gave until you had nothing left but prayer. And even then you whispered, God, I trust you, even now. Even trust that one fragile mustard seed of belief, it reached heaven. It passed through clouds of doubt, through winds of fear, through storms of silence. And it finally hit the throne of God, and God said, now release the reward. So when Archangel Michael says 55,000 is arriving at 9 p.m., it's not just a number, it's prophetic proof that the unseen is becoming seen, that the prayers you thought God ignored were being wrapped in gold, that the delays were actually divine preparations for something so massive you would have crumbled under it last year. And now your spirit is strong. Now your soul is aligned. Now your heart is purified by fire. And now the angels are coming not to comfort you but to crown you. Let me explain what's happening in the unseen. Your name has been spoken in the heavens' wealth chambers. And right now one specific angel is being dispatched with your delivery. Not just in spirit, but in physical confirmation. It could show up through a call, a bank update, a mysterious deposit, an unexpected gift, a signed contract, a total reversal. But Michael says it will arrive. And when it does, don't hesitate. Don't downplay it. Don't reject the miracle you've been praying for. This is important because you've been conditioned to expect little, to not get your hopes up, to pretend you're okay with just enough. But heaven is saying no more survival. Now it's time to thrive. This level of breakthrough is going to feel too big. You'll question if you're worthy, if you're ready, if it's real. But those are old thoughts. And old thoughts don't belong in new seasons. You have to walk into this blessing like you've already held it in your hands in a dream. Because you have. God gave you glimpses, moments where you saw yourself happy, free, provided for. Those weren't fantasy, those were previews, and now the full version is arriving. There are 3 things you need to do before 900 p.m. Open your heart, let go of doubt, let go of fear. Say yes out loud, agree with heaven. Speak it, claim it. Heaven moves on declaration, stay expectant. The miracle is on a timer. Don't let low energy or distraction steal your alignment. Tonight is not like other nights. There is a holy countdown happening. And once it reaches 0, a door opens that has been sealed for decades, maybe centuries. And behind that door is the life you always sensed was yours. The life that felt distant, unreachable until now. The 55 isn't just a number, it's confirmation of identity. Because only someone divinely trusted receives this kind of abundance. You're not just anyone. You're a spiritual architect, a generational rebuilder, a vessel of wealth with a mission for global impact. And it starts the moment you stop doubting and say, God, I receive it all. No fear, no resistance, no turning back. I'm ready. Archangel Michael is still here, watching, listening, guarding this moment from any last-minute interference. Because he knows how close you are. He knows how many times you were almost destroyed before you got here. But you made it. And for that, heaven is celebrating you. So if you're still reading this, then your soul already said yes. And the miracle is already on its way. Then come closer. Because what's about to be said next may be the most important message your soul ever hears. You see, there are moments in life when heaven stops everything. When the angels stop singing. When the Spirit stops whispering to the crowd and speaks directly to one person. That person is you. Yes, you. Because for years your name has been circling heaven. But every time your blessing was about to break through, something blocked it. Someone gossiped. Someone lied. Someone did witchcraft. Someone who was jealous tried to tie up your name in invisible knots. They weren't attacking your money. They were attacking your identity. Because they knew who you were before you did. But Archangel Michael saw it all. He stood beside you when no one else stood up for you. And today he's fighting like never before. Because this is not just a breakthrough. This is a heavenly refund. Everything you were denied is returning. Everything you lost is reappearing. Everything that was locked is being forcefully reopened. And tonight at 900 p.m. the biggest financial portal over your life will activate. But only if your heart is still open, not halfway open, not I hope so open, fully, because heaven doesn't work with hesitation, it works with conviction. Faith so loud it drowns out every voice of lack. Faith so strong even angels pause to listen to the fire inside you. This message, these words, this very moment is part of a divine test, one that's being recorded. Yes, recorded, because God isn't just watching what you say out loud. He's watching what you think in private. He's watching if you dare to believe that 55 isn't impossible, because for him it's not even difficult. God doesn't blink at big numbers. He created gold. He created the earth. Do you really think transferring a small portion of his abundance to you would be hard? No, the challenge is not heaven's ability to give. It's your ability to receive. And that's why Michael is begging. Don't miss this. Don't reason it away. Don't talk yourself out of it like you've done so many times before. Don't let logic destroy your miracle. God says, I chose you for this because I could trust you with it. Because I saw how you handled small and stayed faithful. Because I saw how you gave your last. How you kept praying when your heart was breaking. How you protected others while you were secretly falling apart. I saw it all, and now I will repay. Tonight is spiritual recompense. That number, the 55, it's coded with everything you didn't receive when you should have. It holds the value of prayers from your childhood. It holds the years you lost waiting for someone to love you correctly. It holds the weight of the dreams you buried so you wouldn't feel disappointed again. But God says, I never forgot, and I never changed my mind about you. Archangel Michael has cleared the air around you. Chains that were tied to your family line are being broken as you read. Evil eyes are going blind. Wicked mouths are going mute. Financial oppression is being lifted, and a divine flow is being turned on. But listen, you must stay in agreement, because the moment you allow fear to rise, the flow slows down, not because God stops loving you, but because fear clogs the channel. So tonight you are not allowed to fear. You are not allowed to settle. You are not allowed to say, I don't deserve it, because God says, who are you to deny what I have approved? This is bigger than money. This is about restoring the very image of God in you. This is about heaven showing the world what favor looks like. This is about divine justice finally being carried out on earth through you. The way people treated you, they thought they got away with it. But God has been watching. And He doesn't just restore, He multiplies the restoration. What you thought would come back as a small blessing, He's bringing back in full, overflowing, radical abundance. He's not returning what was stolen. He's giving you interest on the pain. The time you spent waiting was not lost, it was invested. And tonight at 900 p.m., the returns hit your account. That's why this message had to reach you now, not later. Because every second after this moment, it's sacred, it's measured, and the angels have their eyes only on you. Heaven is watching if you dare to believe fully, boldly, loudly. Not just in words, but in energy, in posture, in silence, in expectation. Right now, as you read this, a spiritual key is turning, a code is being entered, the vault is opening, and the 55 million miracle is starting to move. You don't have to see it yet, you just have to feel it. And if you feel that pull in your chest, that pressure behind your eyes, that silent scream of please let this be real, then this is for you. It's been for you all along. Then let's keep going, because we are stepping into the final stretch of the miracle's manifestation. And now that you've come this far, Archangel Michael says, you are standing at the gate. Do not turn back now. Heaven is on high alert right now. Do you feel that tug in your spirit, that soft trembling in your chest? It's not anxiety, it's not coincidence. It's the vibration of a blessing pressing against the veil of the unseen, a veil that is moments away from tearing open. And when it tears, it won't be quiet, it won't be soft. It will be the kind of blessing that makes noise in the natural realm. People will call you. Doors will swing open without you knocking. Accounts will shift, numbers will change. Faces will stare in shock, and all you'll be able to whisper is, I waited, and it came. Michael says the enemy has one last trick, and that is to distract you right before the release, to make you doubt this word, to make you walk away from the page, to say, maybe tomorrow, but listen to me. There is no tomorrow in the realm of the spirit when it comes to tonight's blessing. There is only now, because this kind of gate only opens once in a spiritual cycle, and the cycle is closing tonight. Don't let your natural eyes rob you of what your spirit already knows. You weren't crazy for dreaming big. You weren't wrong for believing more. They called it delusion, but God calls it prophecy. They said you needed to be more practical, more realistic. But heaven says your realism was never meant to replace my miracles. You were called to walk in the impossible, to hold what others couldn't even imagine, to rise from places where others collapsed and never returned. And that's why the 55 million was assigned to you, because only you would carry it with honor, with vision, with compassion. You don't want money just to show off. You want to build. You want to rescue. You want to restore. You want to be the miracle in someone else's prayer. That's why you're dangerous to darkness. That's why they tried to make you give up. But you didn't. You stayed. And God took notes. Every moment of silence where you still praised Him, He remembered. Every sacrifice you made when no one said thank you, He remembered. Every lonely birthday. every rejection email, every fake friend, every night you went to bed hoping maybe next month will be better. He remembered it all, and now he says, "This child will lack nothing again." You've entered the era of no more almost, no more close calls, no more half breakthroughs, no more being passed over. The mantle has officially shifted onto your name, but let me tell you what will happen if you skip this, if you walk away too soon. If you say, "This sounds too good to be true," the angels will wait. But they won't wait forever, because this word has a timer. And when the clock hits 900 p.m., it either arrives in your life or it's rerouted. And it doesn't matter how much you cry later, because the blessing does not respond to tears. It responds to alignment, to timing, to trust. That's why Michael keeps repeating, "Open your heart, stay ready, don't delay." There are already shifts in your field. People are thinking about you right now who haven't spoken to you in years. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into. Someone is looking at your photo in silence, wondering how to reach out. You don't see it yet. But something holy is swirling around you, and it's no longer waiting for permission. It's just waiting for your full yes. The transaction has been approved in heaven. Share this prophetic word to activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with your network. And now the funds, the favor, the power, as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our exclusive community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. He's extending His hand and inviting you into a protected, high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life if you follow it. You won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step, your abundance awaits.